Now, the UK Health and Security Agency have identified 2 new strains of coronavirus in this country.
And more than 700 cases of the mutant BQ1 variant have been detected across the country. 18 cases of what they're calling XBB have been detected as well. However, both strains have not been designated as variants of concern as of yet.
Joining us now for more is Dr. Azim Majid, who's Professor of Primary Care and Public Health at Imperial College. A very good morning to you. Although if we're being told on the one hand these 2 new strains are not of primary concern, there is a lot of rumour in today's newspapers saying, however, they will be resistant to the vaccines that we now have. What's the truth of this?
Good morning, Anne. So with the virus that causes COVID-19, there are 2 things to bear in mind. One is that it does mutate constantly, so we will face new variants, throughout the year and in the future as well. The second point to bear in mind is that our vaccines do protect well against serious illness and death. So no matter what variant we face, including BQ1 and XBB, the vaccines still work well against serious illness. So the message is get vaccinated, get your boosters, and that will help us get through this winter.
Are we going to reach a point quite soon where new variants just aren't going to make any headlines? A bit like, obviously we get a new flu variant every single year and nobody even thinks about it. Is that where we're heading, do you think?
It's quite possible. So the virus, as I mentioned, will mutate constantly, but at some point perhaps we'll pay less attention to these variants. We've now got good immunity in the population through vaccination and prior infection. So over time, I think the variants will have less impact on serious illness and death, although people will still get infected, unfortunately.
It was expected that new variants would pop up all over the place, wasn't it? We were always told this.
Yeah, it's a fact of life. These viruses do mutate, and so we'll see these variants arising all over the world constantly. But as I say, most don't amount to very much. It's only occasionally we get a variant like Omicron or Delta that causes a large wave of infection. Most variants aren't of any great concern, which is why this variant has not been marked as of serious concern by WHO.
But what are we seeing in terms of uptake of the latest booster jab? I think it's 50 and over, plus those with relevant conditions, isn't it? Are you seeing a fairly good uptake?
It's good in many parts of the UK. It is, though, low in London, so London is lagging behind the rest of the country, which is a concern because London is a very big city with a risk of major waves of infection. So overall, it's going quite well. It could go better, so do come forward to vaccine if you're eligible. And in London, as I mentioned, it is not going as well as other parts of the UK at the moment.